Guten Tag, ich bin der Herr Cobbold. My name is Mr. Cobbold. I'm the head of German at Northgate High School. So unfortunately we're not doing live open evenings this year, but I'd like to talk you through today about what we offer at Northgate High School, and hopefully you would like to come and join us next year. So here we go. Warum Deutsch lernen? So hopefully you can see from the top of the screen some of the companies, well-known companies that you will know from England. The British economy is hugely dependent on export, with Germany having the largest economy in Europe and the fourth largest in the world. You can see why learning German as a language would be very beneficial to you in the business world. The world's second largest exporter, and of the world's 100 biggest companies, 15 are German or Swiss, and yet only 4 are British. You can see the need for German is huge. Germany is the UK's biggest trading partner, so you can see there's big links there. Account for over 315,000 jobs in the UK. And German speakers are highly sought after, so knowing German is a very, very special skill to have, and one that can make you very employable in the future. The most commonly spoken language in Europe with 100 million speakers. And it plays an important role as a foreign language, not just in Germany, as I'm sure you've done in GCSE, so in Austria, Switzerland and things like that. And learning German is fun. It's no harder to speak and write than other languages, so therefore you can also be very successful. So I went to see some of our students in Year 13 and asked for their honest opinions of how they've found it. So hopefully this will give you some honest views of how German is at A-level. So the first person said the jump from GCSE to A-level was quite big, but the teachers are really helpful when you're struggling both in and after school, in lessons and after school. Someone else said German is a subject that often pushes me out of my comfort zone, but that's why I chose it for A-level. I found it more challenging than GCSE, but I'm really enjoying the variety of interesting topics that we cover. So I think for most subjects, to be honest, they'd find it more challenging than GCSE. But like you can see, this person's chosen it because they see it's a challenge, and therefore it's something that's very rewarding. And then finally on this one, sorry, the bottom's just come off. I find German really eye-opening. We learn different and interesting topics to discuss whilst also gaining a deeper understanding of German culture. So although at GCSE you may well have been doing about German culture, I'm sure you have been. It's a lot more important now than it was a few years back. In German you go even deeper, so it's very much a combination of culture and language that we're learning about, and it seems to be, as I can see from these 3 students' comments, that interesting topics are very keen for them, and although there's a jump, they're finding it challenging, and these were all Year 13 students, so pupils who are carrying it on. So what do we do here then? So we have 4 lessons per week. You have 3 75-minute lessons in face-to-face with teacher and 1 directed study period. You have 2 teachers who each have 2 topics to teach you each. Independent study is expected every fortnight, as in all subjects, and one of the key things is a joint German history department where we go to Berlin, and pupils really enjoy it. You get to know about things we do in Year 13. So this is the trip, running for 8 years, available to Year 12 Germans and Year 13 history students. So what happens is the German students will bring the language and the history students will bring the knowledge of the background, so it makes a lovely combination. And like I said, it allows us to look at some of the topic areas. So it's led by Miss McEachran in German, but we do Das Leben der anderen, and Miss McEachran teaches that in Year 13. Architektur und Kunst, so the architecture and art in Berlin, Berlin cultural life, reunification, all of these different things are all covered when you go on this trip. So you don't have to go, but a lot of people really, really enjoy it and find it useful. So what do we offer here? We have purpose-built language centre, as you can see I'm sat in now. Computer room, regular lessons, hopefully obviously not at the moment with the current coronavirus, but normally lessons we booked into the computer room, so you get to access kind of live materials. We have access to exam boards, learning service via Caboodle. We have films and books that you can borrow from us, and you're expected, as I said before, to do independent study once per fortnight. And we also have a German teaching assistant who you can do extra speaking with, and that really helps pupils get up to speed and give an extra bit of speaking. Always help with language is something which is, if you can be as immersed as possible, is really useful. So the first year there are topics, so you can see social issues and trends. So things like the family you're used to doing at GCSE, digital world with media, music, television. These are things you're used to doing at GCSE, but then we develop them a bit further. We also do festivals and traditions. You can see a lot of culture, art and architecture and cultural life in Berlin. And then over year 12 and year 13 you also have to study a film and a book. We do Das Leben der Anderen, fantastic film, really love it, and also a very interesting book Der Besuch der alten Dame, The Visit of the Old Woman, but there's a comedy tragedy book which is found to be very interesting by the pupils. Then in year 13 we do these topics which seem very heavy, but they're actually really interesting, with immigration, integration, racism, really massive topics not only in the German GCSE but obviously in life at the moment, so they're really useful to know about. And then we learn about Germany in terms of the European Union, politics, reunification, etc. So you can see there's really depthy topics there which are really interesting for you to know about. And we also do an IRP, an independent research project, where you get to choose a question which is of interest to you, but also relates to Germany, Austria, Switzerland, somewhere where they speak German. But you really have a wide open choice of topics here, and you can develop the research to get a better cultural understanding of a German-speaking country. And this then leads you into the speaking exam. So I think this is a really interesting thing for pupils to be doing. So this is how you're assessed. So you can see that it's very similar to GCSE in terms of the fact that you have at the top you can see a listening, reading and writing for 2 hours 30 minutes, but it's all kind of very structured. You have a writing paper for 2 hours and then a speaking exam which is between 21 and 23 minutes. So very similar to what you're used to doing, except they combine the listening and the reading. This is all done in year 13. So zum Schluss, a little bit of conclusion. So if you're someone who's interested in exploring the cultures of places like Berlin, Munich, Hamburg, Cologne, really important and interesting places, or understanding the works of people like Goethe, Nietzsche, Beethoven, Bach, Freud or Einstein, you might be interested in a career in science, the business world, pharmaceutical industry, engineering, the travel industry, hospitality, translating, journalism, computing, fashion, arts, music. German acts as your personal gateway to discover all of this and so much more. So we would like you to come and join us to study German at Northgate High School in Ipswich. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you've found it of use, and hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you in the near future. Thank you and goodbye.